Hi, this is Lynnis Woods-Mullins with Wellness Woman 40 and Beyond show, and it's so great to be here today. I have an exciting show planned for you today because I decided that moving forward in 2018, everything that we want to do as women in midlife, we want to do with zeal and with zest and with success. And for those of you who are just starting a business, or those of you who have been working a business and feel like you need a little bit of oomph to get, really get a good jump start for 2018, I've got great news. I put together something with a good friend of mine, Carol J. Dunlap, that's going to be talking about how you as entrepreneurs can really distress the mess and have an even more fantastic experience as an entrepreneur. We have combined our expertise, me in stress, and Carol in her business of social media, web design, and graphics, and also marketing, and kind of put our expertises together to kind of share with you the kinds of things you need to be thinking about when you are either starting your business or trying to find a way to improve your business. I've got with me again Carol J. Dunlap. She is a social media marketing expert extraordinaire, guru of all time. She also has a wellness background. She is also a certified personal trainer. She is an award-winning body lifter or body sculptor. And she also has her own wellness story of having been a cancer survivor. So she has all the perspectives in terms of what it's like to be a woman in midlife starting a business or continuing a business, and also a woman in midlife who had to deal with a wellness issue. So she comes and brings with her a particular expertise and perspective that's very valuable. Carol, thank you for being on the Wellness Woman 40 show. It's wonderful to have you.
Thank you for having me. It's awesome to be here.
Well, I know you have shared on our show before, but we've got something else a little bit different to share that we haven't shared before.
Right.
And that's basically our stories, our combined stories of what it takes to really be successful as an entrepreneur. We're still learning every day, but there's some things I think that we have to share that are unique from this perspective in terms of what the three things in particular that women need to do in order to be successful, or the three mistakes they make that keep them from being successful. Right. And I first wanted to start off talking a little bit about you and your background and how you came to learn about what some of these mistakes are and what you're doing now to overcome them, or what you've done to overcome them.
Well, awesome, Lynnis. Thank you so much. First, for having me on, and then second, for just being there for me for all these years, because I don't know if anybody knows, we've known each other for like 9-10 years now. We met on social media when I was going through my breast cancer diagnosis. I guess I was a little bored, needed something to do. So I decided to start a membership program for my health coaching part of me and my personal training part of me. And it was at that time that I met Lynnis. I met Lynnis on social media, and I think I liked one of her tweets or something, and we just started talking from then on. She came in, we've done several programs together, and then we kind of split off a little bit because I wasn't doing basically health and wellness stuff anymore, but Lynnis still is. And then I think at the beginning of the end of last year, we just came back together and said, hey, women entrepreneurs have a problem and we need to help them, because we've been there. I mean, I've been in business 24 years with my husband, and we celebrate our 24th year this year. Yay! Yay! And 24 years in business and in marriage, and we still like each other. We still talk to each other. So that's a big thing.
That's a good thing.
And I know the struggles. I know the struggles of trying to take care of yourself, trying to put self-care in, trying to run a business, trying to work on the business instead of in the business. And then Lynnis, we were talking, and she said, these women, they need our help. They need your help, Carol, because they also need to know about how to actually put your business on what I call it, running it automatically, getting clients while you sleep, having subscribers sign up while you sleep, waking up to PayPal and waking up to money in your PayPal account in your bank. So we came together and created this program, and I'm very happy about it, and I can't wait to tell you guys all about it.
Okay, well, one of the things that is really important about the program is that we talk about the things you need to do from a self-care perspective, the things you need to do in order to stay well, or in some cases even get well, because I know from my own experience that if you don't take good care of yourself, it's only a matter of time before things begin to go south with your business. And a lot of times we're spending hours and hours on the computer and we think we're getting a lot done, but after a while you're beginning to wonder why things aren't moving. And many times it's because you haven't incorporated the self-care that's necessary for you to be able to move forward in your business. So I wanted to first talk about that a little bit, some of the components that you need to think about. I have to tell you that my definition of self-care isn't necessarily the pampering kind of self-care. I mean, that's great too. Long bubble baths and a massage therapist, those are all necessary. But I'm also talking about that self-care that may not be as fun, but it's necessary. Just like in your business, there's some parts in your business that aren't fun, like maybe going to the accountant or maybe some other kind of mundane task that's not part of your actual passion, but it's necessary for your business. Well, your self-care is the same way. You may not feel like you have to do movement, or here's a dreaded word, exercise, but there's no way around it. You've got to do it. And so when it takes a look at your self-care, there's a few things you want to incorporate. The first thing is you got to put self-care on your list anyway, no matter what. You got to put it on there. You got to make yourself a priority, because no one knows better than you what you need to stay well. There may be others that will try to anticipate and help you with that, but the bottom line is it's up to you to put yourself on your own priority list, and it's got to be number one. The next thing is that in terms of self-care, since it's not a pampering thing, you want to take a look at what you can do to take care of your mind, body, spirit connection. That's very important. Anytime there's anything off of that continuum, if your mind is all messed up, if your spirit is all low, if your body is sick, eventually all of those symptoms are going to show up in your business. So while you have made the decision to say, let's say you've made the decision, okay, I'm going to put self-care on the list. The next question is, okay, what things do you want to incorporate? Well, of course, you want to make sure you have a movement regime. And you also want to make sure that you're eating the right kinds of foods to increase your focus and your clarity. And there's all kind of foods, and I'll give you couple of names of some of the foods that I incorporate. Green smoothies in the morning, that's really key. Dark green leafy vegetables have lots of minerals and things that you need to have, because when you are starting your business, there's a lot of stress. That's why we call what we're doing distress your business, basically, because it is stressful. And one of the things that gets the stress begins to interrupt how you're feeling. Your immune system can get compromised. You can get sick. And of course, when you're sick, you're not your best self and you're not putting out your best work. So you want to try to fortify your immune system in the best way that you can. And one way to do that is to watch what you're eating. You want to make sure you're eating things that are high in minerals and vitamins, and also eating things that are high in antioxidants and antibodies, so that you can fortify the immune system and fight off those germs and other things that are out there that begin to attack you when your immune system becomes compromised. So avocado with omega-3 is great for your brain, because that increases your focus. Any kind of seeds, pumpkin seeds, almonds, those are very important in terms of healthy thyroid, but also has omega-3 in it, once again, for your brain. You want to keep yourself hydrated. The brain is 90% water. So you want to make sure you're drinking enough water. You're adding that lemon in there, because the lemon has vitamin C, which once again helps your immune system and helps ward off the impact of germs. But not only that, lime has been known to help with the electrolytes in the neurotransmitters in your brain. If you're in the middle of the day and you're feeling a little bit tired, your blood sugar levels are going low, one of the tricks is to put lime in your water and drink that, and you almost immediately wake up. These are all things and tricks and things that we talk about in this course that can help you fortify your immune system. And actually, if you're eating healthy and if you're eating to strengthen your immune system, guess what? There's a side benefit. The side benefit is you probably drop some pounds and inches, because if you're doing things to fortify your immune system and to improve your brain function, you're not snacking on Cheez-Its, like I do sometimes, or chips, or drinking Coke, or any of those kinds of things. You're eating healthy, and the kind of healthy that you're eating is the kind of healthy that I suggest that you eat is going to be the kind of healthy that is going to be a double whammy, because it's going to help your brain function and it's going to also improve your immune system. Another thing you want to do from a self-care perspective is watch the messaging that you're giving yourself. When you're in business for yourself, it's really important that you not only probably in some cases are the secretary, the admin, the accountant, the content writer, the social media, you're doing all of it, but you also are your own cheerleader. So it's important that you give yourself the right kind of self-messaging, you know, that you're successful, that you're focused, that you're strong, that you are intelligent, that you are wise, and you know what you're talking about. You have to constantly validate yourself. And this is not lying to yourself. You are these things because, after all, you've decided to start a business. And I don't think you would start a business in something you don't know anything about. So you've got a lot of what you need. What you want to do, though, is to affirm and remind yourself who you are and the fact that you can do this. And how I do it when it comes to reminding myself who I am, I've got these kind of little sticky notes all around. You can't see it, but it says right here, I have some affirmations which happen to be true for the most part. I'm good, I have favor, I have peace, I am outstanding, I am focused, I am disciplined, I have divine order in every area of my life, I am strong, I am focused, I am successful, I am wise. You put these messages around you so you can see them every day. And in the course that we're talking about, I show you how to do that. Journaling, it's extremely important to journal and get out any of those negative emotions instead of keeping them inside and then, you know, storing them in you. And next thing you know, you're boohooing in a corner and you don't know why. And it's because you haven't gotten that negative energy out. Another thing that's really important when it comes to your self-care is surrounding yourself with people who support you, people who are your cheerleaders, people who get it in terms of what you're trying to do. I know when I first started my business, my friends mostly, and my family too, in some cases, thought I was nuts because I was 51 years old and I was on the top of my game in my career. I was making a six-figure salary and I had all the trappings of success. But the reality was I wasn't happy in what I was doing. I had developed an anxiety disorder. So I knew that I needed to make a change. And when I made that change, I also found out that I had to kind of change the people that I surrounded myself with. And that's why I was so lucky to have found Carol. You will find that some of the people who are your best support systems aren't necessarily ones that you've known forever and ever. New people, new energy is coming into your life, and take advantage of that and begin to form those relationships, because Carol many times showed me all kinds of shortcuts in my business because that's her expertise from a marketing and social media standpoint. She was patient with me and she celebrated with me whenever anything got good because she understood it, because she'd been through it. I'd only been in business now for 9 years. She's been in business for 23 years. So surrounding yourself with like minds who get what you're trying to do, who validate you and help you to celebrate your success is one of the most important things when it comes to your overall self-care. So to reiterate, you want to make sure that you put yourself on your priority list, number one. Number two is you want to make sure you're fortifying your immune system and you're doing the things that are going to increase your focus and clarity. Number three, you want to watch the messaging that you're telling yourself and begin to affirm yourself and put messages all around you all the time that tell you who you are and who you want to be. And number four, you fortify that by having a support system that's going to be your cheerleader. It's going to be there for you. It's going to celebrate your little successes and your big successes. Isn't that right, Carol?
That is so right. You know, a lot of times we women especially put ourselves on the back burner. Then we wonder why we're sick. Then everything else falls apart because, you know, if we're not doing it, nobody's doing it. You know, let's be real. But, you know, the reason you and I got together with this thing is to really help women entrepreneurs. You know, you got to put self-care in there. You got to eat the right things. You definitely have to exercise. I know the importance of that because even when I was recovering from my chemotherapy, after every session, I would make sure that I would go and get on that elliptical and at least try to sweat out some of the chemotherapy, some of those poisons out of my system. And it made me feel better, like I was in control a little bit. So now let's talk about the business end of it, because what you really want your business to do is to fund your lifestyle. That's why you started the business in the first place. You didn't like what you were doing, or you didn't like the people you were working with, or the stuff you were working on, and you knew you could do better on your own. So now you're here, right? And what do? You continue to work 18 hours a day. You continue to drive yourself into the ground. You're still missing meals. You're not connecting with family, and your business is really not the better for it. So we need to flip that around. And basically, now that you got a handle on the self-care, you need to be automatically, I like to call it, getting clients. That means you need to automate things in your business. And let me say this, it doesn't matter if you have an online business where you're selling trinkets in an Etsy shop or t-shirts, or if you have a brick and mortar business where you have patients or people coming in, you still have to be online. You can't get away from it. Nowadays, people judge you by what you don't have. If you don't have a website, they think you're not valid. If you don't have a social media account out there, they think you're not valid. If you don't have content that you're putting out there, like videos and ebooks and blogs and things like that, they're like, well, what are you doing? Because that's what people expect. But the thing is, you get overwhelmed with that stuff. You're like, how do I put all that in? The key is that you automate this stuff. There's software out there. One of the ones that Lynnis was talking about, IFTTT, which will help you put the internet to work for you. You can schedule your social media posts using something like Hootsuite. I use Post Planner. Both of those are really good. But you can also do other things. And I'm going to tell you about 3 automations that you need to put in place in your business so that you're not, all over the place. You have a handle on things. The first thing is you got to use your website and what we call an opt-in. An opt-in is an ethical bribe, a freebie, a little sample of what you're doing that you're offering people so that you can get their email address and their name. Because look at it this way, you don't know how many people come to visit your website. And even if you know that you get 1,000 hits a day or a week or a month, and they're not buying anything, you just lost all those contacts. So you need them to stop and opt into something, the little sample that you're giving them. So they give you their name and email address, you give them something that's going to help their life better, help them lose weight or make the business better or whatever it is. The key to this is that now you're connected with them, they're on your email address, and now you can email them and tell them all the great things that you're up to. You can help them get to know you, like you, trust you, start buying from you. So that's one automation, because you don't want people to come to your site and wait for them to call you so that you can send something out. That's just wasted time. Automatic. On the site, they download it, they get on your list. The second thing is maybe when you're out speaking trying to get clients, or you're doing Facebook Lives trying to get clients, have something that you can give them right away. And that is you. You want them to schedule something with you so that you can talk to them and see what they really need. Nowadays, it's all about engagement. Engagement. Getting to know people. People getting to know you. What better way than scheduling a one-on-one? But the key to make this magically happen is that you have a scheduler link already in place. Because when Lynnis and I talk, I send her my link or she sends me her schedule link and we get on it. We're not, what about Friday at 6? What about Tuesday at 4? Nobody's got time for that. Too much time wasting. You want it to be magically happening to you. So Calendly, just like it sounds, Calendly is a good service to use. There are others out there, queuing, scheduling and stuff. I use Calendly. I love that. I swear by it. All it is a link, and then you already have your schedule set up of when people can schedule, and then they can do it automatically. You don't even have to be involved, and all you do is you wake up to all these people who are scheduled to talk to you. Isn't that great? Awesome.
That is fantastic. Yes. Yes.
So the other automagic thing that happens that you can do is to get clients. How does that happen? How's it going to feel when you wake up in the morning and you've got money in the bank or money in PayPal? People have paid you stuff. They've gone to your website or whatever. They've bought things, and they come from your list. So we go back to that opt-in. People opt into your list. All right. They get on your list. You email them, and then in that same instance, you send them out information about programs and products and services that you've got going on. You're nurturing them. You're helping them, and then you send out your program and say, "Hey, this is really going to help you do whatever it is that we've been talking about that you need to be doing. This is going to answer all your questions, help you do this one thing." And they say, "Oh, I'm going to buy it." So basically, they're buying from your list. And let me tell you something, people will buy 70% more, 70% more times. They will click on a link in an email, to buy something than they will from a tweet or a Facebook post or any of that social media stuff. Why? Because they know you, they like you, they trust you, you're top of mind, they've been hearing from you. So those are 3 automations you can put in place. You're opting on your website, your Calendly link so people can schedule with you one-on-one, and your nurturing series that you have from your email marketing system. It could be MailChimp. That's a free one out there that you can use. That's a freebie. There's some other ones out there, but when you're sending those emails out and people are getting to know you, like you, trust you, they will definitely start buying from you. The key is to set all this up so that you set it, forget it, and it continually brings in business to you.
That's right. And another thing too, it allows you to focus on the main passion of your business. You know, why you got in the first place. We didn't get into this business in the first place, become social media experts, unless we want to do what you do, Carol. That's just a small part of what we do. And I can tell you, from my first 2 or 3 years, I got preoccupied with that until I realized that a like didn't equal a dollar.
Right. It doesn't.
And another thing, too, when it comes to list building and social media and which one's most important and everything else, she's absolutely right. Your list is your gold mine because those people know you. They've decided they want to hear from you on a regular basis, and those are the people who want to buy from you. And Carol can show you all kinds of ways to build your list, and I can show you how you're going to keep yourself well enough to do the other work that's required in your business. Because let's face it, when you're running your business, especially when you first get started, you have a multi-pronged approach and probably plan in terms of all the things that you need to do.
Right.
Okay, that's not a problem. But let me tell you what happens after about the first 15 months. That's when that's your proving ground. You may or may not have a few sales. You may or may not. Maybe it just took off. But generally speaking, that first 15 months, you're passionate, you're excited, and then you kind of hit a wall wondering, okay, what's happening? I'm still not quite, I haven't replaced my income yet, whatever that was. I mean, some people are lucky enough maybe to replace their income that first year, but generally speaking, you have not replaced your income. You mean, what's going on? You begin to get tired. You begin to get a little frustrated, a little anxious. You're now putting in more hours because you're thinking that's the secret. I'm not working hard enough. I need to spend more time. And then before you know it, going into that second year, many entrepreneurs saying, you know what, I can't do this. I'm not making money. I'm tired. My family's wondering what the heck I'm doing, and you hit a wall. But that wall moves further back when you are an entrepreneur if you are well. If you're taking care of yourself and getting enough rest and eating the right kinds of foods, getting that movement and exercise, reserving time to spend with your family and having that girlfriend time, which is really important, even hormonally. And if you take the course, I can tell you why that's important. All these things kind of come together to keep you a whole person because our business is not the sum total of who we are. It's a part of who we are. It's a part that we're passionate about. But if you're a successful business owner, and I think Carol was just saying, you watched something on Wendy Williams the other day. What was that about, you said?
Yes, it was actually on yesterday, I think.
Okay.
And it was Damon John from FUBU. He just wrote a new book called Wake Up and Grind, where he has interviewed all these very successful people, Wendy Williams being one of them. And he asked them, what is it, why are you so successful? What is it that you do? What's your morning routine and all that? And he said he found that of all the people that he interviewed, the common factor in it was that when they got up in the morning, well, all the time, they were very selfish in a good way. Because when they got up in the morning, the first thing they thought about was, what can I do to take care of myself so that I can take care of my family, my business, my other things? They didn't just go jump on social media or start tweeting or listen to their phone. They sat down and they figured out what they needed to do. How could they take care of themselves better? And how could they give more to life, give more to the people who were around them? So they were very selfish. So they knew that they had to take care of themselves. And he said, hands down, all the people that were successful, they were healthier. Even if they had gone through stuff, because he had just actually gone through thyroid cancer.
Wow.
it shows you that you got to put your health first because things will happen. He still was and still is a very driven entrepreneur, but he was just so surprised that people put their health first. And I don't know how many people know this, but Wendy Williams she had thyroid disease and she has Graves' disease.
Mm-hmm.
So, and look at all the
Wow.
stuff that she does. I didn't even know that. Look at all the stuff that she does to keep herself on track, but you have to take care of yourself first. You
Yes.
can't be
It's,
successful.
it's interesting because I talk about that in this course about starting your day in a positive way and the kinds
Mm-hmm.
of things that you need to know to get your day started, because how you start your day almost always determines how you're going to end your day. If you
Right.
start your day stressed out in a hot mess, running after, whatever it is you're running after, trying to get stuff done, then your end of the day is going to be just as confusing, as just as much of a hot mess. And you look back over, okay, what did I get accomplished? And it's hard for you to even remember that because you're so stressed out and tired of trying to
Yeah.
accomplish everything at once. Starting your day in a positive way with some meditation time, eating the right foods, some movement and exercise, maybe journaling, and
Mhm.
staying positive can go a long way towards you having a successful day. And those are the kinds of things we talk about in this wonderful course. Carol, tell them a little bit about how they can find out more about the course and when it starts and all that kind of good stuff.
I would love to. I wanted to say also that in the course, you're going to learn how to create your strategy for success. We talk about the opt-in, how to use social media, content marketing, email marketing, all that, and it's structured in tiny chunks because we're not going to stress you out. Remember, the name of the program is De-Stress, so we're not going to stress you out. And you'll learn all this in 6 weeks. We're going to be on there every week with you live in a live coaching call. The information is delivered online, and you can do it at your own pace. It actually starts on February 1st. And if you go to bit.ly/de-stress your business. Oh, if you go to bit.ly/de-stress your business, you can find out all about it. You can see, like I said, it starts February 1st with a meet and greet call, and then the first module rolls out that following Monday. Then we meet every Thursday online to just check in because Lynnis, I know that you've done some of these programs online, and it's this do it yourself stuff, and you just get lost and you don't finish the program. But that's what we're there for. Every Thursday, you're checking in with us, and we're trying to see where you are, and we're there to help you move along. Not in a stress you out way, but in a way that at the end of the 6 weeks, you have a plan in place that you can take and use it again and again and again and again and again. So again,
The sound was kind of delayed a little bit, so I wanted to make sure everybody, and I'll make sure we include the link here too. It is bit.ly/de-stress your business. De-stress your business. That's capital DE, capital STRESS, capital YOUR, capital BUSINESS. Bit.ly, distress your business. And when you go to that website, you'll see a masterclass there that you can take. It's totally free, where we cover more in depth some of the things we talked about today.
Right.
And that in itself is worth clicking on the link because there's a lot of good information there. But also investigate the idea of taking the course, because it is definitely something that you need to know. And we really do focus on things that maybe you kind of know, but you're just not doing in your business. And we give you a strategy and a plan on how to do that, incorporate it in your daily regime so that you're not only being well, but you're also seeing your business moving forward and making more money because you actually have a strategy and a plan. And here's the best thing. You now have increased your work-life balance.
Yes.
You're having more joy in your life. You're having more peace in your life. And like Carol said, you are making money even when you sleep. That's the best thing, to wake up in the morning and say, wow, I've got money in my PayPal. Woo-hoo.
Yes, and there's a plan for you to do it. So all these pieces that we've talked about, will help you put them into place because we have the information there for you to go. It's all about just having someone to help you, to teach you, to show you, and you're not just trying to do it yourself. Because like you said, Lynnis, this can be so overwhelming. You're trying to do all this stuff. You're trying to do Facebook and, social media and email and create a book and now I'm trying to eat right, and it's just a lot. So we just take it one day at a time, take it very slow, little bits.
Absolutely. Well, I didn't want to keep anybody for too long. This is kind of an unusual show because I don't necessarily pitch a lot of stuff in my products, but I thought that this was so important that I wanted my audience to know, because I know I have a lot of entrepreneurs that watch this show. And I also know that a lot of entrepreneurs watch the New Earth television network, Rachel Love's network. It's a wonderful network for women, by women, about women. And this particular course is definitely for women, by women, about women.
Yes, definitely.
Absolutely, in terms of what you need to know to be successful entrepreneurs. Thank you so much, Carol, for joining us and just giving your perspective and sharing your story and talking about your part of the course. It's always great to have you on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I look forward to seeing everyone in the course. Everyone, stay healthy and well. See you next time.
Yes, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in, and we'll see you again next time.